Well, welcome to the Christy Jones Show, where it's all about living your life to the fullest. I'm a life coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate, and I've had wild success in multifamily housing for over 25 years now. I am so passionate about helping others merge their success and lead a fulfilling life, and I bring it all together right here on this podcast. So join me and let's get started to live your life to the fullest. Hey, my friends, welcome back to the podcast. So glad you're here. It's summertime. Hello, midsummer. I'm so here for it. And I hope you're having a great summer too. I've got my little summer look going on with my head wrap. I think this is my new permanent hairstyle. So easy, so easy on a hot summer day. So here's what I'm going to jump into today. And I'm so glad you're here because this is going to come right on time for you. We are halfway through the summer, and earlier in the year, I talked about really getting intentional with how you want to spend this season. I offered a free download, and it was a free guide called the Flourishing Summer Strategy. Maybe you remember me talking about that if you follow the show week after week. And so now's a really great time to pause and ask yourself and really think about, have I been intentional this summer? Am I doing what I said I was going to do? I wanted to, experience success and fulfillment. So am I bringing those two things together? A lot of times we keep our head down and we're work, 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 and we're, grinding things out. And then I had used this example before, come like mid-September and you come up for air and you're like, I didn't do anything that I wanted to do this summer. I didn't spend as much time with people that I wanted to spend time with. I didn't create these experiences that I wanted to have. And that is because when we don't have that intention, when we lack that intention, and we don't have like the action steps behind it, it doesn't just magically come together. So we have to have the intention and then we have to execute on the action items. So I just wanted to pop in your world right now and say, and just a little knock on the door and say, are you creating the summer season that you wanted to have? If not, no stress, no worries. You got plenty of time. Let's refocus. Let's set those intentions so that this next probably 6 weeks, you can design your life exactly like you'd like. So I'm going to put down in the show notes, again, the download, the link to get the freebie on the Flourishing Summer Strategy. It's not long, it's simple. You're going to it's a 1 page, it's a guide, and it's going to take you through like 4 or 5 steps. I've got powerful questions that you can ask yourself, and it's going to help you create your roadmap so you can have the summer season that you want to have. I believe that success and fulfillment go together. And a lot of times we're told it's one or the other, and that absolutely doesn't have to be the case. Now, when we are uber focused on work and our goals and the things that light us up, because if you enjoy your work, it's so easy to get really like 110% into that. I know I definitely know, I mean, that is so true for me. But you have to also take the time to say, am I also weaving in these other aspects of my life that bring so much fulfillment to me? And if we don't pause and really take the time to look at how are we spending our time, that time can get away from us. And like I said, you can look up. Now it's mid-September and you look up and maybe the kids are now going back to school and people are back into different routines. And that opportunity you had to go visit a friend or a family member, like they're back at work or they're on the road, or maybe, that summer season didn't offer the flexibility. Maybe the summer season, gives flexibility for you to go and visit some other people that you don't get that flexibility at other times of the year. So it's very important to really capitalize on this window of time. because I want you to show up in your life come mid-September and just be like bursting with just so many memories and that fulfillment that man, that was such an awesome summer. We created some great memories. I really stepped out of my comfort zone and tried some new things. I went somewhere I've never been before. So this is really a time to pause. It's only mid-July. So it's a good time to pause and ask yourself, do a little check-in with yourself. Now, if that's you and you're like, yeah, I've been working really hard, nose to the grindstone, then here's a couple things. Let me toss this out there and give you like some to kind of like jumpstart this for you. Think of a few simple activities that you can do to really kind of step out of this go, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. Because when, we need to step more into a place of intention, and that when we are pushing and forcing that, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but that energy definitely it can get results, yes, but you can get better results. You can actually get more done and have more success if you step back from that forcing, that that hardcore, like gotta make it happen. When you relax into it, you're still taking action, you're still doing the thing, but you're just not in that like that grind mode. You got to know when to let off the gas a little bit. You got to know when to kind of relax, when to take a breath. And there's times that we have to be in just total go mode. I get it. Like, I totally get it. Like, that's how we get things done. Sometimes we have to hit certain benchmarks, we have to hit deadlines. Like, there are windows of opportunity when it comes to our work and business. And there's also windows of opportunity when it comes to the other fulfilling things in your life. So you don't want to miss those windows of opportunity. So you kind of need to know when you put the foot on the gas and when you let up. So here's a couple things to consider. Maybe a way to lean into this is maybe you need to take like a little, you've heard the term digital detox. Maybe you need to just take a break from that right now. Sometimes maybe you have a lot of free time, but maybe you're spending that free time just scrolling on, social media or just reading things online all the time. You're like taking in other people's lives when you could be creating your own amazing life. Don't be too worried about what someone else is doing. This is something that's really changed in my life. I'm very active on social media. I most of the times I'm on multiple platforms. I think there's six that I'm posting on nearly daily. And I lighten that a little bit in the summertime, but I have some automations too that I rely on, which summer's a great time to get your automations for your business in place for sure. Um, but as far as consuming it, I don't I don't do a lot of that. I share a lot of things that I feel are helpful to my community or inspiring or sometimes entertaining or maybe just a little glimpse into what I'm doing at the moment. But as far as like following, watching, absorbing, I don't do a lot of that. I really don't. And because I just don't have the time to do it. I choose, there's certain things, like if I want to go find something, learn something, I need to look something up, I'll do that. But I've really cut back majorly, and I mean majorly, on what I look at in the course of a day when it comes to social media. And I love social media. I think it's like has so many positive things to it. Um, I mean, I know you hear the negativity part of it a lot, and that's true. I mean, but that's true with all things, right? Always a good and a bad. There's always like a flip side to something. But I really feel like the powerful messages and the some of the amazing stories that are told on these free platforms is pretty freaking amazing. So, um, having lived long enough that I didn't not having it and now having it, I think it's pretty remarkable. So I choose to focus on the positive things of it. But maybe if you're just over consuming, maybe you just need to like kind of trim that back a little bit. Take a digital detox. Maybe even if it's just like reading on your iPad all the time, maybe take a break on that. Find, actually get a book, go sit outside, or just let your brain relax. I know I used to always feel like I needed to be consuming information, reading, listening to a podcast. I mean, it was like constant, and my brain was tired. It was like really tired. And I was like, I don't need to be consuming data all the time. So it's so nice if that's you and you're just kind of like, yeah, I do that too. Just chill, take a break, take a walk without listening to a podcast. Take a walk and don't listen to music. Just, I say this sometimes. I just sometimes want to sit and stare at the wall, literally. Have you ever felt like that? Sit, tune into your own thoughts. Like we don't have to constantly be taking information in. So whether it's just like a brain detox or a digital detox, but maybe that's what you need to do right now to jumpstart this. Maybe plan a special day trip. If you're like, oh yeah, it's mid-July. I haven't done anything. I wanted to. I had these plans. Life happened, things got in the way. Can you plan a special day trip? Is there like one day that you can plan ahead? And it can be something that is nearby, but come up with things that you can do for that day that's really out of your norm, not your usual thing, like not getting coffee at your usual place, not going to lunch at your usual place. What could you go explore that's, doable for your schedule? Meaning you can get in the car and go, you can take the train there, something like that. Like what is reasonable and doable, but you have a day where you can step out of your routine. You can step out of the usual things that you see. When we get into, that's one of the cool things with traveling, is that when you get in other environments, your sensory system is like really flipped on because you hear different things, you smell different things, everything visually looks different. And I mean, you don't have to plan a faraway trip to experience that. So anything that you can do that's going to put you in a different environment is really going to stimulate your brain. It's going to turn your senses on. And when we're in that heightened state, we just take in our world in an entirely different way. That's why, have you ever noticed after you travel or go somewhere, you come back and it's like almost like there's times you can go visit somewhere and you're in awe, like all the things that you witnessed, everything has a specialness. Even if you think back to when you were a kid, if you whether you went on day trips or a vacation or you went to the lake or think of things that you did as a kid that was outside of the norm and how that just seemed so huge and like you remembered everything. Like there's so many things that I can't remember at times, but then there'll be like that time that we went to Aunt so and so's house. And I'll remember so many things from when I was a kid because it was just everything. Everything was new. It was a new environment. We did different things that we normally do. Or I can remember going to the lake as a kid and the time, my having my dad and the trailer and the boat, and then, him, taking the boat, and just all the things. So when you step outside of your norm, all of your sensories, like they light up. And anytime you can do that, you're really putting yourself in a different environment. So you're going to grow from that. You're going to have great memories from it. Even if the trip has a total like unexpected twist, like my trip to Puerto Rico. There's an episode on that where I talked about the it was on the flight back. Anyways, we were stranded at an airport from a tornado and all this stuff. And then we take a 2.5 hour cab ride, or not cab ride, Uber ride to get to where our final destination. It was a complete shit show there at the end, but absolute great memories. Oh my gosh, we have so many laughs about all the details of that. It was literally planes, trains, and automobiles. So even if things don't go exactly right on your, special day that you're planning, it's still going to be amazing and fantastic, and it's going to give you some great memories. And so even if you just need to set aside, like maybe it's just an afternoon of quiet reflection. And that means you and you, not you being responsible for someone else, you carrying the conversation for you and your friend. Just have some time by yourself. Enjoy that. Just think about what would feel good for you. And maybe it's just sitting there and read. It might involve a book, it might just involve you listening to music. It might just be complete quiet time, which if you're a mom, you know how valuable that is. I remember being in a phase in my life where I was like, I don't want anyone to say my name. I don't want anyone to look at me to need anything. I don't want to hear noise. Can you relate? Like, and yeah, I mean, you have that for a moment and it's a fleeting moment, but it's perfectly fine to feel that way for all the moms out there. Like, no judgment. Like, you're just like overstimulated. Like, and I don't even want to think about food. Like, I feel like, I mean, if you know, you know. It's like, didn't I just cook a meal? Wasn't I just in the kitchen? Can we just not eat? I remember feeling like for a while, like, let's just not eat for a while because it was just like, no, I just did this. I just cleaned the kitchen from the other meal. So you get to those points where it's like literally me and a wall, and that would be great and like total quiet time. And so, girl, if that is you, or if you're a dad and that is you, that is totally fine. Give yourself what you need. Okay. The most important thing is I just wanted to check in and make sure that you are going through this season because we don't get to redo this particular summer. So move through it with some intention. And yes, not all plans end up happening. We set intentions, but if you are not setting any intentions, guess what? None of it's going to happen. But if you're setting intentions and you're putting a plan and some action behind it, you have a much better chance of those things happening versus just like not thinking about it at all or wishing but not putting up an actual like, okay, I want to do this and then how am I going to make that happen? So be intentional because I just don't want you to wake up mid-September and realize that all this beautiful summer season has gone by. And once again, you have been at the office way too late. You have been buried in paperwork. You have been on the road. You have been, doing all the things. And we can do those things, but we also have to carve in the time to do the things that fill us up in a different way. So I just wanted to like do a little tap on the mic today and pop in to your headphones or here on YouTube and say, check in with yourself. You've got 6 weeks or so left of this summer. How do you want to spend it? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? So be intentional about that. If you want to get your hands on the Flourishing Summer Strategy, you can still put that to use for yourself. And it's so simple. Like it's crazy town simple. Okay. Like I know because I've gone through seasons where I just have been nose to the grindstone and then look up later and it's like, oh my gosh, all that time went by. And I didn't do that. I wanted to do that. I wanted to experience that. I wanted to be present for that. And I can say now in my life, I love the work I do, love the work I do. And I do ask myself because I love it so much, there'll be times that I'm like, ah, but wait, I gotta have that boundary with myself. because I also have so many other people that I love and things that I want to experience. So I have to make room for that as well. And that, my friend, is where setting your intentions and really understanding your value system. And that's how you personalize that for yourself. So check in with yourself, snag the guide down in the show notes, just download it, okay? And that will help give you a roadmap for this next 6 weeks of summer. And you will feel so happy that you did that come September. Okay, my friend, thanks so much for hanging out here. Share this with a friend or somebody, a family member that needs this message too. Pass it along. Don't keep it just for yourself. And I will see you here, same place, same time next week. Take care. I just want to thank you for tuning in today to the podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and all the info that's been shared today. And I hope you've come away with a few ideas on how to make the most out of it for your life. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with your friends and family. And also make sure you subscribe to the podcast and tap that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would leave a podcast review. So until next time, my friend, keep flourishing and thriving and live your life to the